comments, I guess. Or you could.
This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Looks like Jacksonville's going down the field, or at least on the prowl. They're 22-10. Started the third quarter. I am Crispy Bacon, here with James. How you doing today?
Good. I just noticed the game came back.
As we were getting started, it kicked off the second half, so that's perfect timing, actually.
You know, it's funny. Once I turned it on, Jacksonville started to score. Well, they scored on the first drive in the second quarter, and then they kept piling on another touchdown. Then they had a 97-yard punt return, I think it was, and then New England couldn't do anything with the ball. I forgot both teams are 1-5, so maybe Doug Peterson.
2-5.
Yeah, Doug Peterson is going to keep his job for now.
Keyword for now. Oh, that ball was incomplete, but they were trying to go for the interception or the fumble. But yeah, it's week number 7 of the NFL season. Crazy week last week. What's your overall thoughts of week 6?
I forgot all about it, to be honest with you. No, what the hell happened? Well, yeah, the Cowboys got blown out, but Aiden Hutchinson, will be out for the whole season. And that really was unfortunate. The 49ers took care of business on Thursday. The Bears woke up against the Jags. Same thing with the Packers. Colts defeated the Titans. Patriots defeated the Patriots pretty big. Same thing with the Buccaneers. Eagles barely held on. Ravens humbled the Commanders. Chargers held on against Denver. Raiders just stunk it up against the Steelers. Falcons held on against the Panthers. Bengals barely won against the Giants. And then the Jets lost only by 3, and then they got Devontae Adams. And all of a sudden, they're Super Bowl contenders. The Jets are now because of that move. But the game is on the field, and I can't wait to see how it blows up in their face. I'm hate watching now.
Which signing are you surprised at? The signing of their interim head coach or Devontae Adams?
I'm not surprised at both, to be honest with you. The players liked Ubridge, the former linebacker of the Niners, so they liked him, and you kind of tell if you go for an intern head coach, it's usually a defensive coordinator. There's somebody you could rally around, and then I think everybody knew eventually Devontae Adams was going to go to the Jets. He wasn't going to go to the Saints. He wasn't going to go anywhere else. He had to go back to his dad with Aaron Rodgers. I've been waiting to say that publicly.
Big B says, "What's up, guys? What's up, Big B?" But yeah, he's back with Aaron Rodgers. Did you see McAfee's
Yeah, I was
show?
at work for that, and I was like, "Oh, are you kidding me with that crap?"
He was back. Devontae Adams was like, "Hey,
Oh my
I'm right here."
god.
Like,
It kind of made me like sick. Then I realized I was at work, so I couldn't show that. So I was just like, well, it's part of the entertainment business.
you're like, I need to use the
I need
restroom.
to go outside.
Yeah, I need some air. Uh,
But I wasn't even mad. Like I wasn't even mad about it because I knew, like I said, it was gonna happen eventually, and those two together made some great, years together with Green Bay. So it's just bound to happen.
the question is, will they get back on the same page tonight for Sunday Night Football? I thought it was the 49ers game, but it is the Jets
No,
tonight.
next week we're gonna have that. We're gonna watch
Cowboys
that.
49ers. Yeah.
Um, they no, I think whenever you you're together for so long, and even though you quote break up, you get back together. I think you're still on the same page. Like there's a familiarity whenever you run routes or whatever. You know that guy's gonna be there. If he's that great of a route runner like Adams is, he's probably the best route runner in the league. I would think there's probably one or two others that you could throw in there, but
Yeah.
I think they'll be just fine. Against that Steeler defense, though, it's going to come down to the offensive line, though, making time for Rodgers, and we'll get to that later.
We will. We can go through some of the game picks here in a minute, but this week kicked off with the Saints hosting the Broncos.
Ugh.
Drew Brees going into the Ring of Honor. I heard there is some tension between Sean Payton and the Saints ownership. Uh, I guess of how all that ended up, where Sean Payton left, went to Fox. Now he's with the Broncos. I think there's some tension there. Uh, but Drew Brees is in their Hall of Fame or Ring of Honor. But it didn't go too well. Saints lost that game 33-10. I was surprised about that one. I thought New Orleans, in theory, would have it because of the rookie quarterback over in Denver. But any thoughts there, James?
Yeah. I saw it, I think at the beginning or wherever, where Sean Payton was hugging Benson, the wife who
Oh
owns
yeah,
the team. So I guess they're okay for now. It was just one of those little things that happens. Um, that was messy, just the way that whole thing went.
yeah.
But I think eventually the Saints will put him or Sean Payton in the Ring of Honor. It'd be fine. I don't know any others that you could put in. Maybe Deuce McAllister or Colston or whenever others retire that's on the team now. But yeah, when the game happened, you could just tell the team that the Saints had out there, it wasn't really as planned because they had so many injuries. Olave was out, Carr was out, so right away the offense just goes just done. You're done. But this is good for the Broncos. They need this. They improved to 4-3. They win 33-10. They put on points every quarter, so that was great to see. And I think Big B's asking the question: did the Saints lose, or did the Saints forget to show up? I think it was a little bit of both. I think on the Thursday game, and that's why I petitioned the Thursday touchdown in Jacksonville. I know they're going to say incomplete. I'm calling both games. Yeah, Jacksonville. Not Jacksonville. New Orleans. On a short week like that, when you don't have your main guys, you're going to be just running on empty, and that was obvious with Spencer Rattler. You could tell he's not really going to be a starter if ever. So that was going to be a problem. So I think a little bit of both right there, where what Big B mentioned. And then, Jags are driving. Instead, they're going to go for a field goal here and make it. So the score will be 25-10. There is some time left in the third.
Yeah.
9:42 in the third.
So yeah, and that wasn't a good game for New Orleans, and I'm sure Sean Payton's looking over at the bench, going, "Okay, I would fix this, take this player out, put this player in." He's thinking all of that as he's coaching the Broncos. Probably like, "Man, I changed everything here."
Oh, and I think their coach, Dennis Allen, for the Saints, he's probably on. Oh, there's that Peyton Manning commercial you're talking about.
Yeah.
Dennis Allen is on the hot seat for New Orleans. I know.
It's burning.
Yeah. So, I think he was saying, hey, injuries, definitely should be an excuse for this game, but it's not an excuse for this loss. So he was saying, I think what I was thinking about that game, where we're not that good and we didn't have our main key players, so we're not going to be good. But he had to say that.
Right, but your team, you're in the NFL, you're a pro team. You should be able to play with the players you got and still either have a close game, even though you could lose, but you should have a close game, or you should be able to win the game.
Not let a young team come in like that and take your lunch money.
And if a loss is a loss, but I'd be better off with like a 1 or 2 point loss than 33-10.
True.
And then of course today we have the London Jaguars taking on New England. Should have signed Breeze for a 1-game contract. Yeah, and then did the Jaguars just save their coach's job?
Yeah.
For another week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you lose to the Patriots, that's a death sentence.
But there is
across the pond.
But there is 9 minutes and 42 seconds in the third, and you still got the fourth. It's not like it's a huge deficit for New England, and they did
big
play
enough.
well the first half. It depends on how Drake May does, and he's been okay. He has run the ball a little bit, and he has good arm strength so far. Maybe it resurrect his young career. Who knows? Biggest shocker: Bama lost last night, or a Raiders win?
Can
we put
right, Bama, because finally they have lost 2 games. I haven't done that since 2007, so I think that's a big shock.
Who is their coach in 07? Because I believe
it wasn't Saban.
Right, he was with Miami Dolphins. I think he was with the Dolphins.
Let me look that up.
But yeah, Patriots need to win. Jacksonville needs to win. I think we should go to our game picks here, because we can talk about the different stories with each game. Seattle taking on.
It was Nick Saban's first year was 07.
In Bama?
Yeah, so he goes to Dolphins 06.
Okay.
That's why I thought he had a bad first year, because they were, building the program up, and then boom, 08 started, and right away they were on their way.
Yeah, that's just crazy. First game besides this game, I guess. You have Seattle, looking on ESPN, Seattle going up against the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons been playing good. Seattle kind of shaky. Who's your pick for this one?
This is maybe going to be a good one offensively. Both defenses cannot stop a cold. So, Falcons 4-2, Seahawks 3-3. this is going to be fun, I think. And it's indoors. Cousins likes to air it out. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a fun offensive game. It's going to come down to who gets the good stops. I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think they hold it on. They get a big defensive stop later. Geno Smith has issues sometimes late in games. It seems like when they're down, they don't hurry up enough. That's what it seems like with Seattle. Kenneth Walker the third is also questionable. So that's really big. Jerk Reed the second is out. Their defensive safety there. And they also have some other safeties who are out that's going to loom large. So, you know what? I'm going to agree with Brandon here.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Falcons win at least by 10.
Yeah, he did put that. He said Falcons will fly high in the battle of the birds. So the bird is the word in this one. I'm going with the Falcons too on this one. Kirk Cousins, since he signed with Atlanta, has been playing well. Sparked that team. With high hopes there. I think they can probably pull off the win, and it's in Atlanta, so they're kind of the home team. Next is Tennessee going to Buffalo to face the Bills. Interesting quarterback move in this one with Tennessee, as Will Levis has been benched.
Thank God.
For Mason Rudolph. Did not see that coming. Did not have that on my bingo card this week. James, who do you got for this interesting matchup, I guess?
Well, Tennessee, I'm looking at that Levis with the shoulder injury that he hurt last week. He's listed as questionable, so he might be able to come back just in case there's an injury with Mason Rudolph. Buffalo need to. Well, they won last week, but hey, they get Amari Cooper. I believe he'll play for Buffalo today. Yeah, I don't see why not. I'm hoping those two hook up for a couple of touchdowns, maybe, and he gets familiar with the Bills' offense at home too.
Yeah.
So, I think Buffalo's going to have a blowout game. The spread is 8.5. I think you can go over that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Buffalo in a rout.
I'm going Buffalo too. Big B says Buffalo. Tim also says Bills. And then on that Falcons game, he picks the Falcons too. But Buffalo plays really well at home. That's why I'm picking Buffalo to win this game. They do have Amari Cooper. I think it's like what I heard. I think it was on NFL Live. I can't possibly. Every team wants Amari Cooper, but they know they can trade for Amari Cooper.
Yeah, that's true because he's been passed around more than
more than
Kim
a
Kardashian.
More than a common cold.
There you go.
But yeah, that other comment too. But yeah, I mean, there's no reason why Buffalo shouldn't win this game. Buffalo Battle of AFC North rivals, if you want to call them that.
Ohio, the Battle of Ohio.
Yeah, Cincinnati Bengals and Cleveland Browns. Browns are hosting this matchup. Who do you pick? Let's go two evils.
The Bills need this. The Bengals need this more, I think, in this game to solidify themselves a little more. I'm going to say the Bengals win. It'll probably be a close one. And what's maybe shocking, maybe not though, but the Browns, guaranteed that Watson will continue to start for them going forward, despite the horrible, horrible play. I think a lot of games he's passing for barely 100 yards or less, and he's just looked awful. This should be a get-up game for the Bengals. I know they're a little banged up, But I think every team is now. Nick Chubb, I was hoping to see him, but he'll be back today, but he'll be limited, I think, unless they feel like he can continue to play well. And we have a big return. No, I'm sorry, that's
That was a highlight.
I thought I was like, I was bound to say that, bound to happen again. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say the Bengals win despite Nick Chubb coming back, but it's good to see Chubb back.
Cooper passed away more than a plate of crispy baked. That's probably true. That's probably true. And he picks the Bengals. Tim picks the Bengals too. I think it's a clean sweep. I got the Bengals in this game too. It's the lesser of two evils, so to speak. I mean, both teams are not really playing well. I think Cleveland's trying to get that number one overall pick. Trying to. I really think that. And they're trying to lose as many games as possible. And it might be Deshaun Watson's replacement. Who knows?
Jameis Winston?
No, I meant like a rookie quarterback.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, this year, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Jameis Winston come in.
And that's possible.
Solidify that good draft pick.
You got the next game, the Texans and the Packers. Packers hosting this one. Who do you got for this one?
Man. Oh, by the way, the Packers are wearing their winter uniforms where it's a white helmet. They're going to look like LSU, basically, white with the green and yellow trim. It's going to look pretty cool this Sunday against Houston. For the game, man, it would be nice to see Houston if they won this game. I mean, it's hard to win at Lambeau. Up front, Devontae Wyatt is out, their defensive tackle for Green Bay. For Houston, they have a receiver out, but Jimmy Ward, the corner, is out. Damn, they have a couple of injured defensive players. Nico Collins, of course, is out. He'll be out to November. That's going to loom large, I think, in this game. I'm going to say Green Bay holds on. I think the pressure gets to C.J. Stroud up front. But I hope it's a shootout and somehow Houston wins. But I'm going to go with Green Bay.
I'm going Green Bay too. Tim's going with the Packers, and Big B's going with Houston in a close one. But I think Green Bay should have this. It is Lambeau Field.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Favre's not there, you don't have Rodgers there anymore for have that, that huge game feel. But I think it's still a big game for Green Bay. It just depends on how Jordan Love plays. That's the question.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it'd be a toss-up.
I think it should be. It's a toss-up, especially if it's this kind of game. Next game, you have the Miami Dolphins taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Big B says Colts would win, and Tim, who is a Colts fan, says that the Dolphins will win this game. Tua is still out of this one, but he's working his way back for next week. I mean, like you said the other day, you're the Dolphins. You have to start him whenever he's healthy. I don't think it's going to help. But who's your pick?
And Tyler Huntley will get the start for the Miami Dolphins. And then, of course, you got Joe Flacco rolling with the Colts. And it's just great to see Lawrence running for the first down and he'll get it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts. I think they do enough defensively to frustrate Miami, but it will be interesting to see if they can, if Miami can have some explosive plays. I know the throwing threat isn't there as it should be, but maybe get Tyreek Hill, going a little bit. Maybe that'll help things. I know. Let's see. Pittman Jr. is questionable. Pierce as well. So you have, you have three receivers that are questionable, but they're going to play. So that limits the Colts a little bit there too, when you think about it. But I think eventually the Colts will take it. The bad part is for the defense. For Miami, Javion Holland is doubtful with a hand injury, and David Long Jr., the good linebacker, is questionable with a knee injury. So that'll hurt kind of. Hopefully, Jonathan Taylor has a good game. I think hopefully today. I'm gonna go Colts.
I'm gonna go Colts too. Let's see. Big B has Colts, and Tim has the Dolphins, so we're split on that one. I got the Colts on this one too, only because I don't know how the Dolphins are going to do still without their starting quarterback. Huntley's good. I thought he was better with the Ravens because it just fit his game perfectly.
They weren't going downfield in Baltimore, but in Miami, you have to go downfield with the weapons they have, and that's not his game.
And I wonder if it's going to be a precursor to if and when Lamar switches teams, if he ever does. Like we see him in Baltimore run a lot and all of this.
I don't think he'll ever switch teams. That'd be something, though.
It would, but if he ever did, I don't think that going to another team will do much.
We'll see.
But it should be a fun matchup for the Dolphins and the Colts. Next, we have the Lions taking on Minnesota. Minnesota is hosting this one. Big B has this as the game of the early window. Vikings will win it. And then Tim says the Lions will win it. But who's your pick?
I'm interested to see how the Vikings come off of the bye. Remember, they won a couple of weeks ago in London over the Jets, and they made Aaron Rodgers crawl on his knees. So that was fun to see. Aaron Jones is questionable. I think he'll play, though, with the hamstring injury, but that's something to look at. TJ Hawkinson, I was hoping he would be back, but he was downgraded to out, and he'll be out, of course, in this game, so that hurts. Lions, other from the Hutchinson injury, will be out, unfortunately, but everybody else should be good, it looks like. I'll be interested to see how Detroit's pass rush crumbles without Hutchinson. And then how, after a bye week, it always hurts a young team or an inexperienced team when you come back from a bye week. And these are the Vikings coming back from that. But I'm hoping that doesn't hurt Sam Darnold and his connections there. I hope they, air it out. The secondary of the Lions can get exposed sometimes. I think that'll happen, of course, today. So, yeah, I'm going to go Minnesota.
I'm going Minnesota, too, and I'm hoping the Vikings do what the Lions did to the Cowboys last week and just run up the score.
Mm-hmm.
I still have resentment for Detroit right now. And
they were having their offensive linemen out there catching passes and lining up as receivers. Oh, that would piss me off.
But to be fair, they messed up last year with not having an eligible
eligible.
receiver. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I mean, to be fair, they had their moment last year. It's our moment this year. Although ours is worse than theirs, but I have resentment. What's your next game? Hold on one second.
Okay, Eagles and the Giants from uh, Jersey, bro. The Giants are 3-2. I'm sorry, the Eagles are 3-2. The Giants are 2-4, and that's going to be interesting to note because a lot of Eagle fans, travel over to Jersey to face the Giants, or they live in that horrible state of New Jersey. Eagles gained the win last week. That's going to be interesting. Some yard work going on. We understand that. It's Sunday. The Eagles are only favored by 3 to win. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. The Giants' defense usually battles against a divisional opponent. I'm going to go Eagles. I think they hold on to win. But, man, that hot seat will get even hotter if they lose, or for Sirianni for the Eagles if they lose this game against Daniel Jones. It seems like Daniel Jones, he doesn't do well on prime time, but non-prime time he does very well. So yeah, I'm gonna go Philadelphia, but it's gonna be a close one. A divisional game is always a close one.
I'm just gonna talk. I know it's yard work, but I'm gonna go with the Giants on this one. Divisional games are always a close matchup. I usually go with like a split if I'm predicting these games. A split, like a home and home for each team, because they are so unpredictable. Uh, Tim has the Eagles in this one, and I believe Big B has the Eagles in this one too. But I'm going with the Giants. And who are you going for?
I'm gonna say the Eagles win.
So I'm the oddball out. All right, that's okay. I do like game day and howl like a wolf. It's fine for game day morning when they have the next game. We have the Raiders, your Raiders, against the Rams. Who's your pick? We'll start with you first.
The Raiders in California. It's going to be a home game for the Raiders in LA against the Rams, according to the fans there. I was going to go, but I was like, nah, I'm sick of going to games and all that. I don't want to go. I don't want to see them lose. Higbee will be out, and Cooper will be questionable. Cooper Kupp will be questionable. He appears unlikely to play, according to sources. The Raiders come in with Jacoby Myers being doubtful, Zamir White being questionable, and some defensive players being questionable or out, and then a few a guard being questionable or out, I should say. Ooh, so there was a scare saying like Max Crosby. Remember, I read that yesterday during our stream where
Yeah.
breaking news: Max Crosby will have a great game against the Rams
Well, good. Good for
tomorrow,
them.
and I was like, "Oh God!" I thought he was gonna want to trade. Usually, that's done like Monday or Tuesday when things are like that going on. But yeah, some idiot posted that on social media. Anyway, I'll
And I
say
think
the Raiders win this. I'm gonna go with the Raiders somehow. Um, Hopefully they could get a dose of both the run and the pass. They rely on Trey Tucker to go deep here. That'll be fun. Yeah, but maybe the Raiders win this. You know what? I'm gonna pick the Raiders. I think they always go through adversity. And it just depends how you come out of that. Yeah, I'm gonna go Raiders.
would you like to make that your lock?
No, hell no.
Hey, I'll get the Big B's picks in a second, but he put in this chat here. Watch the Raiders win in a blowout this week.
I would love that. They need that.
They would, and it'll feel like a home game, like you said, for the Raiders because they played in California for so long. Granted, this is
Hmm.
not you know Raiders country, but close enough, and I'm sure a lot of old school Raiders fans will be in attendance, all
Yeah,
dressed up.
I didn't feel like going.
Uh, I don't blame you. Big B has the Rams winning, even though he made that statement, but he's going with the Rams. And Tim is going with the Rams, and he's making it his lock. Uh, Raiders need it. Rams need it. Rams are at home, but it feels like a Raiders home game. I'm gonna go with Raiders only because it feels like the home game, and they really need it. Is O'Connell still your
Yeah,
starting
he'll start
quarterback?
for the Raiders. Yep.
Okay, that's good. I mean, I think they could have. I know they wanted somebody young out there and better, but I still think they should have started him only because he started last year. Uh,
That's true.
it's the old saying, "Go with the hot hand."
There isn't a hot hand with the Raiders.
Well, hot hand in this situation being that you had him for
Uh,
most of the year. Um,
Familiarity.
yeah.
Just call it that.
What's crazy is looking at the schedule. There's only 3 like late afternoon games, and the rest are in the early.
There's a reason why.
Why?
The game we're gonna do after this.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's true. But yeah, you have the Panthers going to Washington face the Commanders. Uh, I think I know where everybody's going, but who are you going for?
I'm gonna say the Commanders win. Hopefully they don't have a letdown. We'll see if that happens though. I can't really trust Panthers. Last time we saw them, they were switching quarterbacks in and out in Chicago, so that was not good at all. Washington, I'm trying to see their uh, injury list. I don't think they're too banged up, other from Brian Robinson Jr., the running back, being out. And it was good seeing Terry McLaurin having a good McLaurin, have a renaissance game despite the loss in Baltimore. But yeah, I'm gonna go Washington. Hopefully, you know what, Chris? I'm gonna make this my lock. Washington over Carolina today, and I bet Washington hasn't been a lock for anybody in a long time.
Uh,
Let's see. Yeah, I'm
Tim,
gonna
Tim,
go Washington.
go ahead. Tim's making it his pick for this week, and Big B's making it his lot too. Uh, I'm going to go with Washington, or should we say the University of Washington, because they're running a college offense.
Mm,
That's who I'm going to go with, Washington, but I'm not going to make him my lock. I might have a lot coming down the stretch here. I kind of have to. Because the next game is going to be the Chiefs and the 49ers Super Bowl rematch. It doesn't matter which Super Bowl you pick because they played in 2 of them, even though 49ers had 2 different quarterbacks in that game. But the 49ers are at home. This is a 3:25 game, late afternoon game. Who's your pick?
this is tough. Juju Smith-Schuster will be questionable for the Chiefs, but it seems like Mahomes gets it done no matter what. I'm looking at the 49ers. Hopefully, Ricky Pearsall will come back from his off the field injury. Remember, Jake Moody got injured. They had 2 kickers that got hurt this season so far for San Francisco. So the kicking game will be a little limited again for San Francisco. Man. So they're on their third kicker. Now that I realize that. Um, I think the Chiefs still get it done. It's going to be a really close game. I think though the Chiefs win, they go to 6-0. But it'd be interesting to see if the Niners defense can make some stops late. Yeah, I'm gonna go Kansas City.
I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I was gonna go. This might be the death sentence, so to speak, but I'm gonna go with the Chiefs over the 49ers. But in my head, I was thinking, should I go with the 49ers and make it my lock? But I'm like, no, it's the Chiefs. And it's kind of like that video. Maybe I can find it here. That I sent you yesterday, where it was a parody of a Chiefs game, and they're like, Patrick Mahomes is so good. Oh, here's a penalty. It's like holding on this team. All hail Patrick Mahomes.
Mm.
It's pretty much that, and it was
I
like that
hate
with
that.
Brady too. It was like that with Brady too. Oh, you can't hurt Brady. You can't hurt Mahomes. I
Mm.
get it. They're trying to make a safer game, but that's just kind of how it seems like it feels. But officially, I'm going with the Chiefs over the 49ers. Uh, you have Big B who says the Chiefs, or no, the 49ers over the Chiefs. Uh, and then you have Tim who's saying 49ers. So it's split down the middle. Not bad. Um, Next, your primetime game for Sunday. You got the Jets going to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. And an interesting develop, I'm going to double check on this. I believe because we heard the rumors all week that Pittsburgh stupidly was going to go with Russell Wilson
Oh yeah.
over uh, Justin Fields, but I think they are going with that. So, who's your pick?
Yeah, hearing that just makes me sick when I think about that. I think Justin Fields done did so well going into this game, and I know they brought in Russell Wilson to start, but we didn't know Justin Fields was going to manage the game very well like he is. Man, that sucks. Hassan Reddick will be out, but he finally reached an agreement with the Jets, so maybe he'll come back next week for the Jets. He's on an adjusted contract for the season that brought an end to his holdout, according to Schefter. So that was really good to hear. Conklin, the tight end, will be questionable. We'll see if he'll play. He has a hip injury. Still is not even that banged up either. Shoot. I'm gonna go touchdown Patriots over the middle to whomever that is. All right. I'll go with man, it's Devontae Adams' first game with the Jets. They're wanting to hook up right there with Rodgers. I'm gonna go. Damn. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Jets. I think Adams and Rodgers hooks up for a couple of touchdowns like they never left each other. Yeah, even in hostile Pittsburgh, I think they get it done. I'm gonna go Jets.
I'm gonna go Jets too, only despite the Steelers. I mean, if Fields was going to start for Pittsburgh, I'd go with Pittsburgh only because, like we mentioned, a hot hand.
Mm-hmm.
But the Jets really need this win, and I feel like with Adams, you know, back with Aaron Rodgers, I feel like the Jets possibly have a chance. Uh, but we'll see what happens there. And then I guess you get a 2-for-1 special, two primetime games on one day. Uh, ESPN will carry Baltimore and Tampa Bay. That game's at 6:15, 7:15 Eastern time, 6:15 Central time. Uh, So who do you got for this one?
This is a really intriguing game as well. Defensively, I think it's going to be not as a good game for either. Um,
And Big B and Tim are split on Steelers and Jets. Big
I'm
B
gonna
has
go. I'm gonna go
Jets.
Baltimore in this game. I think Lamar does enough, and the rushing attack does it for them. I don't know, but man, I hope it's a shootout. I think the Buccaneers can do that. I'm trying to see how many defensive. It seems like always a laundry list of defensive players out for
Yeah.
them. A lot of are on the injured reserve or whatever. It's always just David out there for them. But yeah, I'll go Baltimore.
Big B and Tim's going with Baltimore too. I'm going with Baltimore. Buccaneers have been playing really well though.
I
Uh,
know.
and I guess if you had to lose a game, it's better to lose against non-conference opponents because conference play is like the I won't say end all beyond, but it is one of those things where it has more weight to it. Would you agree with that? It has more
Yeah,
weight.
I do.
First, you have your divisional games because you play them 2 times a year. Then your conference opponents. Well, actually, your divisional opponents has more weight because it's kind of a package deal, a conference and a divisional. So, but I guess if you had to lose one today or this game would be better. And then your final game, also on Monday night at 7 o'clock Central Time, uh, exclusively on ESPN Plus. So if you have ESPN Plus, feel free to watch this game. It's the Chargers going to Arizona to face the Cardinals. What's your game, or what's your pick? I should say.
Oh man. I'm looking at the Chargers. I'm thinking they'll get the win, but I'm looking at the. Yeah, I wonder if McConkley will play. He's been really clutch for the Chargers over the middle. JJ Shark, of course, is on IR. Hayden Hurst is doubtful. Excuse me. The tight end, as long as Quentin Johnson is as well. Arizona, I'm looking at them. Man, Marvin Harrison Jr. is finally hooking up with Kyler Murray there. I think it's going to be a really close game, but I'm going to say the Chargers win somehow. I think they do enough on the rushing attack. So yeah, I'm going to go Chargers.
I'm going to make it my lock and go with the Cardinals.
I hope so.
That would be good for him. They are at home. You might as well make it some kind of, upset if you're Arizona. And interesting enough, Monday night's all about Harbaugh, the Harbaugh family.
Yeah, I wish they were playing
Which
each other on a Monday
I
night.
wish so too. Yeah.
And imagine having the Manning cast at the same time. Boom. That'd be great.
It was weird seeing Cooper Manning yesterday at the Longhorn game. And they said it was Arch's dad. And I'm like, I looked at it. I'm like, no, that can't be right, can it? I believe it is, but you have those doubts sometimes.
By the way, the bye week is the Bears and the Cowboys.
Cowboys definitely needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Too many injuries, depression, all of that. So I'm glad for that. We needed it. I talk like I'm with the team, but I'm not.
So, you know how usually there's a prime five?
Yeah.
or whatever we call that with Tim. I was thinking I could do mine real quick and end the
Sure,
show with that.
sure. Go ahead.
Since there's international games going, I was trying to think to myself, what are the 5 teams that you would put out there if you had to every year?
Ooh.
What 5 teams would stand out? I don't think Jacksonville does, but think about the names of the teams, right? Um, Titans, I think, would be a good one. Vikings, and you saw the people love that in wherever they were. I think it was London, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, they were saying the field was good. I was kind of shocked by that.
Oh, it's not good right now. I mean, it rained today
Right.
in
No,
London.
but despite the rain, they had Steve Weish, the reporter. He was
Uh-huh.
saying the players were not complaining about it. I was shocked by that. But the Commanders, I think that's a good name to have going out there. Jets, of course, is good. Saints, I think, is a good name as well. Um, and then probably the last one would be. No, not them. Not them.
Would you put the Chiefs out there?
Giant. I guess the Giants. Man, for they need to. But it would have to be a road game for the Chiefs. Like if they play Jacksonville again, if they play Jacksonville next year, you have to have the Chiefs play the Jags. Oh, I did last year. It was the Chiefs and the Dolphins in Germany. So they did have the Chiefs there, and it was a really, really close game. I think despite Tua getting hurt. Or no, I don't think he was hurt. No, I think he was playing. Somebody was hurt from Miami. But yeah, they already played, and it was the Chiefs' home game, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But I think you have to have the Chiefs back
But
internationally.
I think for that one, if I remember right, I'll have to go back and watch it. I think they split the field stuff down.
Yeah. So yeah, I think those names would be cool for them. A lot of people dressed up as Vikings and Vikinettes, whatever the women are called. So it was pretty cool to see that, and the people enjoyed it. So yeah, I think Vikings they need to be out there. But the Commanders, since they have a stadium issue in Washington or in Maryland, they need to play there. They need to host a game. I think for Washington, they need to host a international game next year, along with Tennessee. Because eventually they'll have a new place. Maybe the Browns go international next year. The Raiders haven't in a while.
Would you put Dallas in there? They only had one game in London.
I was trying to remember, when was that?
Like in 12 or 13 maybe.
I was gonna say they haven't gone. The Packers haven't gone in a while.
Well, they did play an international game.
Packers?
Brazil, Eagles.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking Germany or London. Never mind. I don't think the Chargers have in a while either. Like Chargers and Saints did a long time ago, like 2008 or 9.
I remember the first international that I can remember, and it's mainly the London game. The first one was Dolphins and Giants.
Yeah.
And it was pouring rain, like really pouring rain. Field was horrible. I think it was like a 3-0 game or something. It was low scoring. I can't remember. I know one team had 3. And it was cool because it was something different. And the field was so horrible. Better now than what it was back in 07 or 06. I can't remember.
I think it was 07 because the Giants went on to win the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah. And I was so disheartened that the Giants lost that Patriots game at the final week of the season.
Oh yeah.
Just because I wanted the Giants to, and I was still young at watching football, but I wanted somebody to be the underdog and beat the Patriots. But they did in the
So
Super Bowl.
in London right now, there's 4:38 to go in the fourth. It's 25-16 Jacksonville. I hope Jacksonville scores again. I don't want them to make it interesting here.
They're just gonna run down the field.
Yeah, run out the clock, hopefully.
They Patriots called a timeout earlier.
They're trying
And
to
they
get a stop.
Lawrence up, he throws it incomplete, which stops the clock.
Damn it.
You think they should change that? Just keep it running.
No.
No.
That wouldn't be fair to the defense, and all the rules are against the defense anyway.
I would try to find a way to even it out, but that'd be me.
It's tough to do that.
I was tweeting out to a Lions fan, and I was like, why did the Lions have to crush the Cowboys? And they put
Because of last year?
Decker. Yeah, pretty much they put Decker reported.
Yeah.
It's like I get it. Real fun banter. Any more injury updates or
I don't have
quarterback switches?
anything.
Or
No. I'm just waiting for, later on today, the Sunday night game with Fields and Wilson. I hope they have a late switch where they um where they keep Fields going. I hope. But I don't know.
And I think we should call it a show since there's nothing else. Any final thoughts?
No, I think we have some interesting games, of course, with the Super Bowl rematch later on today. Same time the Raider Ram game is, so I'll be heavily invested. And then we were talking about, in the morning, the two games going on with Detroit and Minnesota, and then you have Houston at Green Bay. Those are the four games I'm really going to be keying on, and then the Sunday night game. So I cannot wait for those 5 games today.
Not to mention, well, first, thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. Thank you, Big B and Tim, for sending in your picks. And you will be also following the MLB postseason and the WNBA action. Big B has a rooting interest in that one as Minnesota hopefully holds on to win this game. But anything else, James?
Nah, that's all I got. Thank you for everybody that watched, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good day.